Hi everyone, welcome. I've got this on a little bit earlier just so everyone can join while we wait for Pearson casting to join us. So I'm just letting everyone filter in. I hope you're all well today. Seeing all you lovely people join. Hi guys. Ooh. So I just have to watch out for James to join because I haven't actually joined anyone to a live myself before. I'm very technical, not very good. Hang on. Okay, you've joined, guys, and wait. Go live, Pearson casting. Waiting. Hello.
I'm eating an Easter egg.
An Easter egg? It's a bit late for that. Okay, they're mini Easter eggs. I am gutted. I did not have one Easter egg this Easter.
They're vegan as well.
Are they?
Well, that's what I'm telling myself.
So, have you gone vegan or have you been vegan?
No, I haven't eaten meat for about 5 years, but I eat fish, and we don't really have dairy and
Okay.
things like that. So yeah. How's it going? I managed to do this. Took me a while to find where the live bit is. I'm so useless.
Oh, you know what? I am too. Honestly, all the guys in the office laugh at me all the time because I literally phone everyone. What do I do? What do I do? So I'm completely there with you. But
Rosie
anyway.
sends her love. She's on a different call.
Oh, amazing! Love to her as well. But thank you so much for joining me today. It means a lot. And hopefully we can answer some of these questions that have been flooding in.
Indeed.
Yeah, guys,
I've got them here.
Brilliant. Yeah, there were so many questions that came in, and so obviously I kind of filtered them to what I thought was most appropriate, and try to get as many in as we could as possible. So we've only got an hour, so cool. let's just wait another couple of minutes for people to join, just because I came on a bit early.
Yeah, no worries.
So how have you been?
So can people see us now?
They can see us.
Oh, right. Can they hear us?
Everyone wave. Can you see everything at the bottom? Can you see people joining?
I can see all the people joining, yeah, but can they hear us now? So are we live now?
We're live. You are live. Please do not swear.
Oh, so where are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's
where are you?
So I am in Copenhagen.
Oh, amazing! And what are they? Do they have lockdown there? What are they doing all over there?
So it's actually been quite. What's the word? I feel quite lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Because we're allowed to go out and have a walk around the lake, but they're only allowing us to walk one way and one way back the other way. So there's like restricted places you can walk.
Yeah.
But I mean, the supermarkets are still open, the cafes are open, the bakeries are open.
Because Sweden has full open. They haven't done anything, have they? But they were saying that people in Sweden sort of naturally listen to what the government says and kind of doesn't they go, oh, okay, if that's what you're saying to do, then we will do that. We won't go to pub and park and all that kind of stuff. I think the thing that I find hilarious over here is we stand outside the supermarket 6 feet apart, and then we get into the supermarket and everyone's leaning over you to get the taramasalata and hummus, and I'm like, get away, it's crazy.
I honestly, with everyone telling me, that it's still in the UK, how crazy it's been supermarket wise, it's just been very chilled and very calm here. People seem to really respect.
But that's what the Danish are like. Danish, Swedish, Norwegians, you know, their Viking history is the past now. They're all like chilled out, you know.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
all like, yeah, cool, been there, seen it, ruled it, done it, you know. Let's chill out and have a nice coffee.
absolutely. And I have really adapted to this way of living. So it's very, you know, it's been really nice for me, because obviously traveling back to London a couple of days a week and then coming back to Copenhagen, it's allowed me to have that buzz, but then chill.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's really really interesting. Just bear, I've had to shut the living room door because someone's building a shed next door, but now my cats want to get in. Just 1 second.
okay, I think we've got everyone joining.
All right, cool. I've had to leave the door open a little bit, but if the banging's too much, just let me know.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. And is my music too loud, or is it okay? Let me know. Just put your thumbs up, thumbs down.
Can't even hear it.
Can't even hear it? Perfect. Well, okay, so number one, let's go. So, number one, what is the best way to get on your radar and make a great impression?
Okay, so get on the radar. I'm going to close this. I had the questions open, but you've got them there, so that's really cool. So, I think that obviously there are different. Invite us. So if you're in something or doing something, you've got a showcase or something like that, invite us. That's always a really nice way. We're very sociable. We we will stick around if we can afterwards if it's not too late and chat to you and meet you. So that's definitely one way to do it. Agents are really important. We've been talking about this a lot. What's really important is your agent is there to make those introductions for you. And it's really important to discuss with your agent how they like to do it and do it as a team. So, you know, agents work so hard for you. And it's always that thing, isn't it? That, you know, a lot of actors just sometimes don't get into their minds that if your actor or dancer or performer isn't working, you're not earning any money. And so it's you guys work really hard, and all agents do. So, you know, the agent is constantly working to get you on casting directors' radars or producers or directors' radars. Other than that, it's really important that you. A lot of people, there are a lot of casting directors out there that don't mind unsolicited emails, which means you're writing to a casting director for no particular reason other than to say hi. Yeah. Check in with your agent again, whether or not they like that. Sometimes agents go, listen, I'm controlling your career, and it's really important that you know how I'm controlling this career for you. You're doing it together, but I don't want you to mess anything up. The reason with that is there are a lot of casting directors out there that don't want to be communicated with. Their volume's too high. They might be alone. They can't respond to the emails. They might be working on several projects. It blocks up inboxes. You know, prior to the lockdown, Rosie and I had 7 projects on at the same time.
At the same time.
We were sending out around 400 emails a day. So that's sending out. That's not coming back. That's not answering all the responses to the emails that we're sending out. So, so if you write to us as an individual, or even an agent, if an agent introduces a new client to us, or someone that they've taken on, if it's not relative to that project right this second, if we don't think you sit into that project, you get filed, and you go, right, okay, oh, they could be right for XYZ. You'll get filed away, everything gets read, and then when we have that downtime, we then go back to it. Or if we get to that project, we'll then get back to it. So in short, go on the casting director's website, make sure that they say, yeah, it's cool to write to us. Or if they, I guess what you're looking out for is if they don't say, do not write to us, please do not send unsolicited emails, do not do it. It just gets on their nerves, and fair enough. It's how they want to run their business, and that's fair enough. So if that isn't on their website, then write to them, but write and have a purpose. So for example, if it's the first time you're writing to them, then it's a presentation of yourself. If you're in a showcase, then you're offering to invite to that showcase. I think the key though is make sure you're never expecting that response. And
Yeah.
it's not that people are being rude, but if you can imagine us working at 400 emails sending out per day to reach all the deadlines that we need to reach to cast the productions, it's not that we don't want to, it's just we don't have the capacity to reply to everyone. We will.
And at the time as well, there's not enough hours in the day.
There's just not enough hours. We just don't. We have to recharge. We have to have a downtime. So that's it, really. So write to casting directors who want to be written to. We're ones that you can write to. Invite casting directors or us to things that you might be in or that you might be doing. But always have a purpose. Always explain why you're writing. Make it very clear. And keep your details. Keep it sort of shortish as well.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, exactly. But not too short that we don't hear your personality in that.
Yeah, I think that's the balance to have, isn't it? And especially, if you do have an agent, 9 times out of 10, that agent has already put you up for that casting, or they have a relationship with that casting director.
Yep.
And it's quite frustrating when a client will send a casting director an email, but the agent already has, and then the casting director, like yourself, could go back to the agent and say, we
had recently someone who we knew from Liverpool as a younger performer. They were at a youth group. Mm-hmm. We went to see them, and they're fantastic, and we knew they were going to be brilliant. Anyway, they got submitted for something, and they submitted, and they didn't have their agent's details on their CV. And so when we're dealing with volume, like 400 emails, 500, 600, 700 emails a day, which seems mental, but that's what we're hitting.
Yeah.
We don't then have time to investigate, does this person have an agent? Because you sort of think, well, they would have it on their CV.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. And then that creates like a damaging thing of like, then the agent, like you might write to us saying, hey, you've approached my client, why didn't you come? Well, I didn't know you with you, so it's about that. I think there's a real importance to know that the agents are there to work with you, and if you don't have a relationship with your agent that you feel like you're working together, then you need to chat to them about that. You need to have a talk to them and say, listen, I get that you're working up, but I don't feel like we have a relationship, because it is a two-way thing, and agents aren't earning any money if you're not in work. And it blows my mind, we might come on to something else, but remind me at the end if we don't cover it about something else to do with that. So yeah.
Okay, good. All right, on to question 2. Do you prefer a full song sang to you or a cut? Wait. Hold on. Do you prefer a full sang song? Oh my goodness, I can't even speak.
Do we prefer a full song or a cut of the songs? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
So, generally, as a rule, and you'll know this, we send out very detailed emails of what it is that we want for the audition process.
Yeah.
So often we'll either attach material. I think we like a verse and a chorus is always really good. Show if we've sent material, the material we're sending will be generally a cut of something. So you just learn that cut. If it's a first audition where we just want to hear you on your own material, by doing a song that's like 4.5 minutes, might give you a feeling that you're getting maximum time in the room, but at the same time, it can knock us off our timings for auditions.
Yeah.
And if we think, I don't know if this person right, and you've got this massive song, yes, we will stop you and say, okay, look, great, we've sort of seen that, but do you have anything else? But that sometimes can feel rude to do. So although we will do that, happily go, yeah, okay, cool, all right, great, this is a really long song, have you got something else? We want to hear what else you have for us. Some might just think, well, this is what you've brought in, so we're going to hear this. And if you don't show us what you have in that time, then that's not for us to then research who you are and what else you have. So it's really important that well, I think what's really important is to go, right, well, I'll do a verse and a chorus, or verse, chorus, chorus, or something like that, that shows off the style of vocal that's required for you. That you're, if it's a pop show, you're singing with a pop and you're not coming in doing Les Mis. You know, you're showing those things. You show certain money notes and things like that. But you should be able to tell a story through that. It's really important that in those initial auditions that you're showing that you're a storyteller, as well as, yes, you have a big voice and all of that kind of stuff. So I would keep it short and sweet, so that they then go, all right, great, let's hear something else, because you've given us like 2.5 minutes, so now we still have another 2.5 minutes to play around.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a 5 minute, 7 minute, 8 minute slot, things like that. Remember, we might have given you a 10-minute slot. Well, part of that will be to have a chat with you. Part of that will be, so if you're if you take whatever time you've been given up, 5 minute, 10-minute slot, the more you take that up with one song, the less time we have to then investigate you or talk with you and so on, because we have a schedule. And we don't want to get those emails from people saying, oh, you're behind. Oh, my client's standing outside, you're 20 minutes behind. So I think it's important to go in, show the style that's required, keep it nice, short and sweet, but it shows enough acting, enough of your vocal for them to then go, oh, that was really nice. What else do you have? Or do you have something else?
And you will take time, like, you know, I've seen you in action, you know, you will take time to kind of, you know, if you've heard that little short bar of what they sang, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to work with you now, you know, I'm going to...
Leave them wanting more. Show them your skills, but make them be excited about that in a shorter space of time, to go, oh, that was good. Oh, okay. Do you have anything that can show this? Or, oh, come and sit down, let's have a chat, or whatever it is, you know. Excite them, but leave them wanting to hear you do more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, you know, which is a compliment to you, is that you make whoever's coming in sing for you really comfortable. Do you know, you want them to do well, you know?
Of course, yeah.
You're up and you're alert, and you know, and that's really nice to be in front of someone giving you that energy.
It's something that, and listen, I'm only answering for Pearson casting,
of course, because
everyone else is different, every other person is different, and they have their ways of working, and that's the way it is. You know, but what's really important is, and this is really for every casting director, we need you. We need to cast these shows. We need to cast these films and TV shows, whatever it is. We don't want to catch you out. We don't want you to be crap. We don't spend 60 hours a week on projects. I mean, for Rent, 12, 13 roles, Fringe production, we had 4,500 submissions for 110 audition slots. We read all of that, every single email, every single CV, because we're hunting out the absolute best talent. We need you. So when you're in that room and you're one of those 110 slots, we want to end the day going, oh my God, who do we choose? This is ridiculous. We never want you to come in and do a bad job. We work way too hard to make sure that the people that come in the room aren't going to do a bad job. We work way, way, way too hard. And so, so it's really important that you come in knowing that we're on your side and that we want you to get this job, and that anything that we ask of you is simply because we've seen something in you and we want to see more, or we haven't seen enough of you, or we want to challenge you because we want to see where you go. We want to see, is that a real thing? Steve Balsamo, there's a great story about this, and I'll paraphrase it, but when they did the Jesus Christ Superstar for the Lyceum Theatre, they did the rebuild of the Lyceum Theatre, and the first production in there was Jesus Christ Superstar a long time ago, back in like the 90s, I think, early 2000s. Okay. Steve Balsamo was Jesus, and he was at the Royal Welsh College, and he came into the audition and he did Gethsemane the way that he did it on stage. Right. And apparently Andrew Lloyd Webber went, no, there's no way, come back. And he wanted, I think he came back 5, 6, 7 times. Not because he wasn't good, because he didn't believe that he was able to do that. He just went, there's no way. And he did it. And he did that like 8 times a week. And he nailed that Super G, and he held it for 26 beats. And it's ridiculous and insane. But we
so
asked...
I think bringing someone back, you know, back and back and back, that's you know,
it's a positive thing. It's a positive thing. We've just worked with an actor who finally got a show that she's auditioned for with us for a year. And we worked with her, and we worked with the agent, and we wanted her to get this.
Get it, yeah.
And she got it, and then this lockdown happened. So, but she'll do it. She'll still do it. But you know, we worked and we brought back. Sometimes it might be someone's dance isn't quite strong enough, and we will give feedback and say, listen, you know, Kiri, they've got to go and work on this style of dance for this production, or they've got to go and work on that style of vocal, or that they've got to improve their acting, whatever. You've got to, especially performers in the 20s. We're not criticizing you.
Exactly.
Don't like take it all so to heart. We're giving this information for you to go away, absorb it, and improve on it to then come back and get the job. It's just like, we just need you to go and work away. And we have people that have gone away and worked on dance, like for Six example, there's a specific style and a specific technique. And we've said to people, right, they're not strong enough, tell them to go away and work on this. And then we're like, right, bring them back in for the dance call, and we want to see where they are. You know, there's one particular person who has other work, but we're like, can we just check a dance? Because she will be in this show one time. The moment she gets there, she came back, massive improvement, great. And then we got her in again recently, massive improvement, fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, she's gone away. She wants to do this show, so she's gone away and worked on it. You're not, as an artist, you cannot be right for Les Mis, Mamma Mia, We Will Rock You, Six, 42nd Street, Phantom of the Opera. You can't be all of those. No one, I don't know anyone that can cross all of those. However, that's not to say you can't be in those shows. If you don't tap, the chances of you getting into 42nd Street are quite low. Guess what? Go away and work on your tap, and your chances of getting that job go up 100%. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so it's not. So I remember auditioning for Phantom of the Opera a long time ago, and saying to my agent, I'm not right for this. And they're like, they want to see you because they'd seen you for this, 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 and this. I was like, okay, I'll go and I'll do my best cod opera. Now, it's not to say that I couldn't have done that show, but if I really, really wanted to be in that show, then I would have taken on a classical vocal coach and maintained that and worked on that. Do you see? So it's like, you can be in all of these shows, but you have to work to be in all of those shows. But the chances are you're not at this point right for all of it. It's just not the case. So it's really important to grab onto knowing who you are now, where you sit now, what you feel that you can do now, and don't lie to yourself and go, these are the things. Right, great. What do I want to be in? I want to be in that. Great. What are they looking for? Kiri, I want to be in this show. I don't think I'm there yet. What do they need? Well, they needed to be an extraordinary tapper. Great. I've got intermediate tap. I'm going to go and work on my tap. And that's what I'm going to do back in 6 months. And that's it.
And I totally agree with you, you know, on that standpoint, because, you know, as well, from my point of view, you know, my job is to get you to where you want to get to progressively. Not, you know, so if you want to get to that specific role, that specific show, that specific point, great, you want that, I will help you, I will guide you, I will advise you, let's do it together. You know, so that is definitely a great point. So on to question 3. When auditioning for you, do you have a preference of what accent I should sing in?
Interestingly, more and more there are more and more British shows in around, which is fantastic. So if you're up for an American show, do an American accent, obviously. But if you're not up for an American show, then I mean, the thing is that we cast a lot of stuff where we want your own accent. So certainly for Six, you will be asked to sing in your own accent. And it brings so much truth to it, and it's so much fun. Like on one of the ships, we had a Geordie, a wonderful performer in the role of Cleves, and so when she did, sitting here all alone on a throne, it was just like that. I can't do that accent. It was so funny. Or Welsh, we've had Welsh actors, and it's just, it brings them and brings their personality, and it just, I don't know, it creates a lovely warmth. So I think that's again, the casting director will probably put that like in the email or whatever that they want. An American show, you're going to sing in American. For a British show, don't make it RP, and don't make it, be true to yourself.
Yeah. And really commit to that.
But really commit to it. Yeah.
Don't go in and out of like, what am I doing now?
Exactly. But also at the same time, make sure that you can adjust. So then, if for example, I remember doing a song for Mamma Mia actually, long time ago, and I did it, and it had like a sort of a slight American accent on it, because that's how I've always done it. And they were like, "Great, can you just make that so English?" And I couldn't do it. I was like, "Oh," and they went, "I know, I'm so sorry. I know what it's like when you've done a song so much." Yeah. But that's my failing. I should have been able to do that. I should have been able to switch that on. I should have been able to go, "Oh yeah, of course, yeah. 1 second, just blah blah. Okay, yeah, okay, let's do it." But I couldn't, because it was like, this is so weird. That's my fault. That's my fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault.
So would you say then to be so prepared that you're ready for anything to be thrown at you? So
yes. Your preparation, we were just talking about this, we've just done with Royal Welsh College actually, a seminar, Q&A.
Yeah.
The greatest thing you can do is you need to be as prepared as possible. My old singing teacher, Tony Brigetti, said to us when we were on graduation, 3 things: prepare, prepare, prepare. And what that means is you should be not, "I've learnt it and I know everything." It is, you have tried it. You've got, like when I would have scripts, I used to have one of those pens that was different colours, you could click it down. And I would have worked on, like, I'd have my green version, my red version, my blue version, and it was where I laid the what I was accentuating in the text, and I tried it different ways. I tried it in different accents, in all different sort of scenarios, different ages, so that when I was in that audition and the director said, "Right, can you try it like this?" I was already comfortable about trying it in different ways. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's not a memory test.
No.
Hold the script always, even if you don't need it. Always have it in your hand. Okay. A big thing in musical theatre that we come across is people focus so much on the songs and not enough on the script. And the script is so important, obviously. So really work hard on that. So be so prepared that you can be flexible. That's the preparation. But that work means not just solidly learning everything. It's a case of being prepared to be that blank canvas, and whatever the director or choreographer or the musical director asks of you in that really pressurized environment, or the casting director, that you have the ability to let go what you've learned and switch it and adjust with it. Definitely.
Yeah. And then I think, when you've, even if you don't get past that, and they say thank you very much, at least then you can walk out and think, "Do you know what? I gave that a bloody good go."
Yep, completely. Yeah, totally.
And feel happy within yourself that you've done that justice to yourself.
You have to remember that your talent is probably 10% of you getting the job. The other 90% is so out of your control. It's out of your hands. We might have a role in place, but we can't announce that. We can't tell anyone that. But there's someone in place. So actually, what we're doing is casting from that role. So you walk in the room. All you can do is look like your headshot. You're coming in the room, so you're already talented. So that's a given. You should be talented. You should have the talent. You should have the skill sets to be in that room.
To be invited into that room, yeah.
We take that as a given. You've got to look like that headshot. and you just come in and show that you're a professional, that you're prepared, and that's it. Remember that every single panelist isn't just working on that production, and you'll be remembered and you will be seen for other things. I mean, the number of times we go and we write all the other projects down that we think somebody might be right for, and then after that, and we've done it with you. Hi, look, I'm not going to take them further for this. They just weren't right. We're doing this. Do you think they'd be interested? And you're like, I'll have a word. Yeah, they'd love to. Great. There you go. Remember that the person on the piano, every single person that we use as a pianist is a musical director.
Right.
They're working on their own projects. They are making their own notes. Thank them. Thank them when you leave. Say, because they write that down, they turn to us, say, well, they thank me. Lovely. They're working on their own projects. So just come in, be prepared in the way that we've spoken about, and then just forget about it. And just that's it. You've done it. You've done your job. But there are too many reasons as to why you're not getting it, and they're nothing. Generally, nothing really to do with you.
Yeah.
It's to do with all the other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other reasons. And so don't beat yourself up so much. Really, don't beat yourself up so much. If you get down to finals, know that you're talented enough to do the job. That's it. It could be your job, but there might be a role that we go, that is the hardest role, and that person is absolutely that role. We have to go to offer on them in those finals, and that bumps you off because it changes the makeup of the jigsaw puzzle. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. So yes, it's gutting. Go and have a gin and tonic, and then just get on with it.
On to the next one. That's what I always say. I always say, okay, fine, forget about it now. On to the next one. You know, were you prepared enough for it? Great. Did you do everything you could? Great. That's all I ask. Let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
And then, so let's get to our next one. So number 4, what stands out for you when looking at headshots? Is there anything that draws you straight away as soon as you look at a headshot?
I think it's amazing the energy that you can get from a person from a headshot. And I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. So again, this is only from us. But something I really like a smile. I think that's engaging, or something that really shows your personality. Try and show as much of you in the headshot as possible. We're not casting that personality because you're an actor, you're going to take on a role. But the personality that we want to attract into the room is someone that's going to be nice to work with, a nice team member, you know, is going to be a great company member. Ships, for example, we have a great duty of care to your learning ability. So actually saying about the learning, we might throw something at you very short space of time for a cruise ship audition, but that is because in rehearsals in a cruise ship, the amount you have to learn in a short space of time is unbelievable. So if you're doing 1 month of a single role in a musical, we might go, yes, they're right for that. But to learn 6 shows, singing 5 different styles in each show, 6 shows in a space of 5 to 6 weeks, 1 day off a week, their capacity of that's not right for them for now. So we have a duty of care, and we've got to make sure of those things. But that personality, eyes, you know, the way that the eyes pop out, like headshots for us that work really well are outdoor shots. They have so much more energy. Again, for us, don't worry about it being perfect. I think it's more about the shot should have energy. The key to it though is when you have headshots done, don't say to your friends, oh, which is the best headshot. Ask them which shot looks most like me. Because you can guarantee the best headshot doesn't look like you. And so you've just really got to look like that headshot. It's so important.
Absolutely.
And there's so many reasons. It's a different kind of session, really. But you just have to look like that headshot. If you change your hair color or hair length, and you have a hair appointment on the Thursday, well, it costs you your headshots on the Friday, and you've got to do that. If you have your hair coloured and shaped and cut, it used to be long and blonde and now it's short, shaved, green, that's fine. But if you haven't told your agent, they don't have a shot to send us, so we don't know what you look like, and they've submitted you
in different.
Oh my God, and we've called you in, and you literally and then you say to us, oh yeah, I'm getting headshots done in a month. Well, that's no good.
No good.
We don't have a wig budget. There's no wig budget on this. We start rehearsals in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You look completely wrong for the makeup of this cast. So be really, really honest with yourself about all of that sort of stuff.
And I also think it's slightly disrespectful as well from you know, a person trying to sell themselves.
Definitely. I mean, because the thing about it is, like, your client can say, I'm going to have my hair done. I can't afford to have my shots done. I'd actually quite like to have my hair done, let it settle for a few days, and then I'm going to have my headshots done. Here's a shot of me. Click. There you go. I mean, how many ways can we send pictures to each other these days? Ridiculous. No excuses. Exactly. Here's a shot of me. Send it to you. So every single submission that you put forward, then you can load that into the little box and say, hi, Penelope looks like this right now. This is her new head. She's getting headshots done. She's booked in next week. But I want to make sure you know what she looks like.
You know what she looks like.
Or you can still upload that shot to Spotlight or to Mandy or wherever it is, to your CV. You can. There are 1,000 ways. Absolutely. But don't disrespect your agent by saying, yeah, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. We're like, whoa, you know how hard they're working? And also, we've now lost that slot to the person that does look like the way that we want them to look. Yeah. So you've now taken that opportunity away from somebody else, and it doesn't put you in a good light. It's not like we go, oh, great. We literally go.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, isn't it? You know, from both of our points of views, how much goes on in the background that people don't kind of see. You know, they just assume that it just happened. You know, but it's there's a lot of things that go on behind.
You know, we do a lot of, and you know this because you guys are one of the agents that actually responds, and we're like, oh God, have some wine. But we will do like, if we're doing a big call, like a 6 or whatever it is, we might do audition slots once the offices have shut, or on a Sunday night or whatever it is, so that we're not getting a volley of emails back in. We just want to bang out these emails, get everyone booked in, get that done. And we don't want to get over the last 8 months, it's gone from 1 or 2 agents responding, thanks a lot, got this, yes, I'll book them in, to probably 30-40% of agents now are working at 8 or 9 o'clock at night all the weekend, and we're like, oh my God, we don't want you to respond right now. Wait till tomorrow morning. It's not, do you know what I mean? It's like, we need this quiet time. Yeah. But more and more agents are, well, we've had conversations on a Saturday and Sunday about, have you got anyone, this person's pulled out, we need someone for Monday. Can you get, you know, or who have you got available? We've got this, we've had this, someone's broken their leg, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And people don't get that we're working.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't
stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
But we love it, and that's why we do it.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
It's that love.
Yeah, I think it's that having that understanding, again, going back to, as a performer, know how hard the industry is working to actually get you employed. Yeah. It's just a different way of thinking about it. You're not alone trying to get work. There are teams of people out there that are trying to actually get you employed.
Yeah. Sorry, the school bell's going off. Can you hear that?
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Love the school bell.
The schools went back the other day, so that's what you can hear outside. Right. Okay. So on to number 5. What would you look at? What would you look at a CV and not invite if the credits are heavily focused on one genre?
So this really comes down to show reels and vocal reels. So let's stay for ease sake, so I don't have to kind of repeat in the musical world.
Yeah.
Let's just stay there. But this is equal to the acting world, the people that don't do musicals, okay, or dancers who don't sing, whatever it is. Let's just overall your show reel. The let's say you've got, for us, credits only, again, this is only us.
Yeah.
Credits only matter so much for us. Because we've always done that extra bit of work to find out whether they are right for this particular production. So that's really important. If someone, and the way to get around it is to have a vocal reel, a dance reel, an acting reel. And it doesn't have to be done in a professional studio. Far from it. It just needs to be that we can see your performance and we can hear you. It's
just you.
Just you. Like literally, if you're a dancer on your show reel, start with your cross the floor. Don't, if you've done, let's say you've done ships and production shows, don't start with 100 shots and don't start with all of that and then we get to the cross the floor, because you're doing somebody else's choreography. So remember that we just want to see who you are. So that can get around, let's say all you've done is holiday parks, or all you've done is theme parks, or all you've done is cruise ships, or all you've done is ensemble in West End shows. If you've done ensemble in West End shows and you've been the lead on a cruise ship, you've been a lead.
Yeah.
You've led. We know what that means. You've stood in front of a team of people and held a solo by yourself or with dancers or with adage and all sorts of pyros going off and all that. We know that. So that has immense value for us. A student said, well, you know, cruise ships, entertainment's free, isn't it? I went, no. They don't have to pay to walk into the theatre, but they've paid a minimum of $2,500 to see you on that stage.
To see you on that stage.
And up to, if you take Regent Seven Seas, $10,000 a day per person to see you on that show. So they are far more judging than a £75 ticket in the West End. So there's all these things just because of where we come from and how we. So for us, in fact, it was a chap we were talking to. We saw him for Rent, but he didn't have a show reel, and all his CV did was show legitimate vocal, you know, legit MT vocal. So we didn't go in. Then somebody on the panel said, "Oh, listen, I know this guy really well. He's a great rock singer." I was like, "Brilliant! Well, we got him in." You know, one of the panelists knew him. Great, got him in, and he was. And I said to him in the room there and then, "Listen, just put a 1-minute clip if you want to do rock shows of you singing rock, because I can't call you in because you had no evidence. So if you show a certain genre of who you are, and that's all you show, then that's what I'm considering. If you then add on a 1-minute vocal reel, 1-minute dance reel, 1 minute whatever it is, then the chances of you getting in are far greater. Also help us out with that. You know, if you're writing in for a rock show, then, and let your agent know that at 2:26 on your show reel, that's where they can find your rock vocal.
Put a little note in there at the bottom that says, go to this bit.
Go to that. Like 1:24, you can hear my legit. When I was a performer, I had a 7.5 minute long show reel. But it was because it had all these different genres on. So if I knew I was going up for something there, I could say, oh, go to 2:26, I'm singing jazz. Go to here, I'm singing Motown. Go to here. And so it made it very easy for them.
Easy.
Make our lives easy. We're looking at 4,500 CVs. Your one submission. So really help us out, and we really love you for it when you do.
No, it's the same when we get you know, self-tapes into the audition folder to be represented. You know, I just feel, you know, just
blows your mind. Blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Blows your mind.
And although I will say that since we've been doing our live Q&As, which I feel are just so valuable for all performers out there, you know, we have been getting a lot of self-tapes in now that are just short, sweet, concise. See, you know, we can see what we want, you know, and I just feel like doing this is so valuable for everyone. So again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Number 6. What advice would you give to a performer returning to the business after time out?
Just everything that we've been saying, really. You know, make sure, you know, no, very few people really just stick in this industry. People have time out for all sorts of reasons. It might be, I took time out just because I was like, oh my gosh, this is just too much, for a while in the sort of middle of my career. People have families,
Maternity leave and, you know, etc.
people lose family members, and that hits them hard, and they feel as they need to time out. They've got to go and look after a grandparent. So there's loads of reasons. If you're coming back, just make sure that all your tools are there. You know, have you know, some form of show reel depending on your skill set. Have something that can help you get back in that room. But don't make excuses about having been out of the industry. You're back in the industry now, so
Yeah.
just get back into the industry. It's really that, really.
Yeah. Just make sure your skill set is, you know, as it says on your CV, make sure that you can do those highly skilled, you know.
Yeah. Make sure that, make sure when you revisit that CV that it's all the right, it's all the, it's probably not necessarily what you used to do. If it's been a few years, you know, you might need a few adjustments with that. Yeah.
Definitely. So number 7, do you have any tips on how to connect to telling the story during a song? So the connection within that storytelling, which is so important.
I think, I mean, if you don't find it in a lyric, if the lyric isn't like giving it to you, then find a different song.
Yeah.
I think that it's very, you know, that it's, you have to really engage in what the lyrics are saying, what the lyrics are doing, and also try different things. Again, go against the grain of what it is that the song may be. So it might be like, with you, whatever, you know, from Ghost. With you, without you, with you, with you, from Ghost. Well, everyone starts that like really depressed and really like somber and stuff. Well, tell us, you know, maybe try showing us the joy that you used to feel. Like, you know, show us something else so that it's not, don't necessarily play the obvious. Find different angles that you can find to really sort of latch into the lyric. Don't just, oh, this is a sad song, so therefore I should be sad, because that's actually not the case at all. Try all sorts of different ways around the song. That's what I would. And also, when you're doing songs, don't sing them full out all the time.
You don't, full out. It doesn't need to be like.
No, and also, but in the learning process, you'll find there's a technique that we used to do. You know, I remember I was taught at drama school, and I've done a lot monologue sessions. I do a lot of monologue work, and that's where you say it as quietly as possible. And you can, if you record yourself saying it quietly and you do it quietly, then you get a sense of rhythm that isn't, if you make loud sounds on it, then it takes away the sensitivity of it. If you do everything really quietly and you, whilst you're learning it, then the emotion starts to come through when you're whispering it, or you're saying it quietly, and it lands differently. And then, you know, you can then take that and bring it into the, and with belting, make sure you remember that the writer has written a belt there because the character wants to like really show an emotion.
Yeah.
If you don't show us all that emotion before you get to that big belt, then the big belt doesn't matter. It's literally noise, and we don't want to sit there and be shouted at. We need to hear the whole story, and we need to know that the big belt, the big moment, has come from everything that you've done prior to that big belt.
Absolutely.
That's really important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, you know, like, especially working on the nerves as well whilst you're singing. Like, you know, the shaky lip or the shaky hand, you know, the shaky leg. I always found that if I did some mirror work before I went in to sing, like, and just like zoned into what I'm looking like and filter that when I go into the room, I used to find that helped a lot.
Yeah. Like, I think that, you know, we often say you should only be 80% of you should leave outside.
Yeah.
you should only bring 20% of you into the audition room. That 20% is your personality, who you are, you're able to hold a conversation. But 80% of you should be that character and all the work you've done that you actually bring in. So you come in, hi, how you doing? Yeah, great, blah, 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 chat, chat, chat. Because that 80% is where you live, the bills you pay, the food you have, the girlfriend, boyfriend that you have, the dog you own. That we don't need to have in the audition room.
Yeah.
We just need to know your personality, who you are, and get that sense. And then the other 80%. And if you latch onto the character is where the character's not nervous. Let's say this, they're not in an audition. They're not there. So if you can really dig deep, like when it comes to that moment, like say, go to the pianist and you go, great, thank you very much. And you walk and you take your moment and then become that character and leave your personality bit is left by the piano and it's just the character that we're watching and it's that story. And I think that's the art form.
Yeah.
That's the real technique.
That's the one when you can stand in front of you and just literally tell you the story straight away. That's when it gets you. Okay. Number 8. Do you have any do's and don'ts when auditioning for you? So do you have any pet peeves or anything like that?
I think pet peeves. I think that the big things are be on time.
Yeah.
We know that we know things happen, especially in London. We know transport's a nightmare. We generally tweet about it.
Yeah.
Like
and tell your agent if you're running late.
Tell your agent.
So they can
tell your agent you're running late.
Yeah.
Come in and say sorry, but then forget it.
Yeah.
Don't let it overtake you. But we know the difference between someone who's been stuck on a train and someone who's just late, just turned up late. That's a thing. Not having prepared for the audition, that's a really big thing. And as we say, it's not about necessarily, if you've been asked to learn something off book, then fine, but it's the preparation. We know that sometimes you might have 2 or 3 pieces, 2 or 3 musicals you're auditioning for, and you've got lots to, but I can guarantee if you gave me your phone and I looked at how much you've been on your phone on social media, I guarantee that's you have me looking at your scripts. When I worked in a bar, I was auditioning, it was in my back pocket. It was under the counter. Yeah. On the train. I mean, luckily we didn't have phones in that capacity. It was just a phone to phone people. The time you're wasting on all that social media instead of really focusing on those scripts and songs and all of that, it's massive. You want to work, just focus for those few days on that. Don't worry about TikTok and you're just sitting there with your Instagram, just sort of looking at yourself like doing this. Oh, what a waste of life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a waste of time. So really focus on that, I think. Yes.
No. I was just going to say, we've got like 6 minutes.
Okay.
So I just wanted to tie in another question, which actually goes in with what we're saying now. Yeah. How important is online presence for a performer?
Yeah, so we're interestingly, so we're about to launch something through a lot of demand. Okay, so we've got, from doing all of these, we've had so many emails about being able to do more specific detailed analysis of all of this stuff, everything we've been talking about. So which we're going to do in the next 24 hours, and it will be on all our social media. It's paid for, but it's like it's like a $5. Right. But it's about CV analysis, it's about short reel analysis, social media, what you look like on social media. We will search into that and we'll come back and we will report back to you individually, completely confidential, specifically, so you can send off to us. And as I say, we'll launch it in the next, we're literally going to launch it tonight, I think.
Okay. And everyone watch out for that.
Yeah, and it's all of that, and it's about social media presence. And it's about social media presence. You know, we've seen over the last sort of couple of years how negative social media can destroy your career. And so a lot of people forget what they did 10 years ago. If you haven't taken it off, it's still there. If your social media presence it's important to a certain degree, but it depends what you want to achieve with it. You know,
I think the time spent on social media, it can be distracting for one's career as well.
Very distraction. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
That's probably going back to what you were saying before. Just don't spend so much time in it.
No.
Be present with you.
No one is being that successful. Everyone is struggling, and what we find is, and we've done a lot with mental health stuff, you know, with industry minds and stuff, and through ourselves, our own, is that people get consumed about. It's not being on social media and having a laugh. You get consumed about everything that everyone else is doing,
and is thinking,
and feeling like you're not a part of it, or feeling like you're being a failure, and it's just not. It's not right. So, you know, social media presence, it's great. Yeah. It's necessary these days. Use it for the right way and the right tools. It's a great way to stay on top of stuff that's going on, of course, and it's necessary. But just don't let it consume you in the wrong way, in that negative way. Yeah. So it's that, and you know, and it's these surgeries we're calling that we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's all of that. We would analyze and we see how you're presented, or, you know, when you write to someone, what does that look like? Like you were saying, you know, doing these, you know, we will analyze your letter writing and how that's presented and what you look like to the industry, every single ounce of it. So they're not casting sessions. They are almost more important. They are the stuff that gets you in the room.
And mistakes are okay. We're okay with mistakes.
Of course.
But just be willing and be open to learn from those mistakes.
Don't get involved in, like, if somebody says something negative about us on social media, you know, it could be about whatever it is, we just don't get involved. And in fact, like, people who follow us, they deal with it for us.
Yeah.
Don't get trapped into that. Just either mute them, delete them, block them, leave it. Because often negative engagement, they want you to engage.
Feed off it.
Yes, and with that, don't be negative. Oh my gosh, if you go and see a show,
just don't do it.
If you go and see a show, you don't say, God, that was rubbish, wasn't it? Why would you be saying that? Because we've read it. If I'm saying stuff that I've read, and actors have come out of seeing a show and they've put it down, they've put down the cast, they've put down that. We will never see you.
Yeah.
We'll never see you. The director's seen that, the choreographer's seen that, the producers have seen it, everyone has seen it. Why are you saying it? What possible benefit can you get from? No possible benefit. It's all negative. So just, social media should be for a professional presence. Have a bit of fun with it. If you want to be political, go for it. You know, especially in these times, great, but be careful how far you go with it. Be careful what you're saying or how you're saying something. And if you find that you're saying something, and you're getting negative track, just delete it. Just delete it. Just don't get involved.
We all need to lift each other up, be here for each other, help each other along the way. You know, we're better together at the end of the day.
Definitely.
You know,
well, follow us. If you don't already follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all that, give us a follow. Well, and because we use our social media is massively important for us, because it's how we can engage with, especially like dance calls. It's a great way to engage, but also just finding talent. You know, we trawl things like Instagram.
Yeah.
Looking for undiscovered talent. You know, it's a big
job. That's your job.
It's our job. Our job is to find talent.
Absolutely. And you're amazing at what you do, and we just love working with you. So thank you so much. We are about to get logged off.
Okay.
So if anyone's got any questions, guys, send them into the U Management page. If it's for Pearson, for myself, we'll send them over to each other and answer them and try and get back to you as soon as possible.
Definitely.
So much love to Rosie as well.
Will do.
And to the cats.
And look out for our surgery promotions on our website. Bye.
Bye.